Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. We have a video sponsor for today. That's Kellen Zoom Bayern, one of our newest members on the channel. So if you want to join the BayernNow membership team and you get a shout out, we'll keep going through and I'll try to make every single video like this. A member gets their name out. Man, I thought it was cool in my head. So hopefully it's cool and it runs well and it can keep going. So if you want to join that would be absolutely amazing. You click the join button. But if you can't just watching the videos is probably just as important, but it helps support the channel as always. Leave a like as well, that's always really good, and share the videos. I'm gonna stop promoting. I hate promoting, I can't stand it. People keep telling me, George, promote this, and I'm like, I don't want to promote. I can't stand promotions. Well, Marcelo Brozović is a player that plays at Inter Milan. You know what? I know for a fact, none of you know who he is. Yeah, actually, no, you do know who he is. Maybe you just don't know how he plays. Well, I can quickly explain. I don't really watch that much of Inter Milan, but the games I do watch, I have a few conclusions about him. He's a very leadership type like CDM. He wants to be there and be present and be physical and aggressive. He's not really the biggest guy in the world, only like, 5'11", close to 6 foot. So he's not going to be out here just stomping random people all over the place. He will be very, very physical, though. I think if you think about his game, someone like a Gattuso, not saying he is like that, but that level of aggression, he wants to, milk every single tackle. You ever seen those players that just milk everything? Like he makes a tackle and he sits there, like celebrates. That's kind of his attitude, Brozović. He likes doing that. But one thing I do like about him is he's gifted on the ball. He's a very good passer, can definitely be a real asset in that Bayern Munich team. Not that we don't have midfielders that can pass. All our midfielders have a level of tempo control in them. They have temperature in their name, tempo. But Brozović can also play. I think his main aspect and main strength is really long passing, right? He can really split a defense with those. Gets 8 assists. That's crazy. For Inter Milan, that's pretty huge considering they're just camping in their own halves for pretty much the majority of the game. Might as well just start a campfire and start lighting up some s'mores and doing that there because all they do is camp in their own half. And I think, you know what? Brozović gets the assist. He can also carry the ball, though. That's something that I noticed with his game. He can carry that ball, and a lot of his assists, a lot of his contributions, especially goals, come outside the box. So that just shows his quality to shoot from distance. He can shoot like that. Only Goretzka and maybe Kimmich, I can say, like shooting from distance. Goretzka tries it. I mean, this entire Champions League campaign, I don't think Goretzka got a single long shot on target, but he tried maybe like 10. I can remember maybe 3 against Lyon that he tried, and they didn't even get on target. They all got blocked. So Brozović can definitely add that to our game. Not that we don't have enough goals coming from the midfield, but he can definitely add a different type of player, a different solution to the whole midfield. And I don't have a problem with that. The only thing that I would say about Brozović is he's not really, I said he was good on the ball, but not like that. Not like Thiago good on the ball. He's not going to, turn on pressure and do all these other things. He's experienced. He knows what to do and what not to do. He's 27 years old and he's worth 50 million, and apparently Bayern want to get him to replace Thiago. Maybe that's the club wanting a different solution. Thiago is very different. I don't think there's a midfielder in our squad, maybe Mikel Cousins, that plays like Thiago, where they just turn on pressure, they want to get on the ball and dribble, and I don't know. Thiago is someone that you can't really just replace. You need someone that adds Thiago's defensive impetus, but someone that also adds his dribbling and pressure alleviating movements. I don't know about Brozović that much, but I do know he's very physical. He wants to be on the ball. He's not going to be one of those midfielders that hides between the lines. He doesn't do that. He won't just go find a place and be behind a striker pressing our center back because he doesn't want to be on the ball in the midfield. He wants to be there. He wants to drop. He wants to do all these other things. And that's, a good CDM. I wouldn't mind him at Bayern. I would not. He's a very good player, right? He can do what he can do. He can come here. I would absolutely support him. It looks like it could be happening because Kalen Zoom just said no comment to it. So we could be seeing a Marcelo Brozović at Bayern Munich. Another Croatian. That means since 2013, when Bayern won the Champions League, ironically, no team that won the UCL had 0 Croatian players in it. So they had to have a Croatian player to win the Champions League. So you know what? Perisic could stay. But most importantly, Brozović coming in means we're winning another Champions League until he retires. Goodness gracious, that's huge. That's huge for us. You know, he'd probably be one of those players that spends maybe 3 years at Bayern and then would just go somewhere else. I don't know about him staying for the long term and being here for 20 years. You know, he's 27, so I mean, look, I always said it with Thiago. If you want to replace Thiago, preferably I'd get someone that's younger than Thiago, significantly younger, like a Houssem Owaha. What kind of name is that? Is that a Middle Eastern name? Is that a... Oh, it is an African name. It's from North Africa, yeah. Maybe Algeria or Morocco or something like that, yeah. Houssem, yeah, that is true, very true. So I don't know about Brozović. I don't know about his real, overall age, and he doesn't look like a typical Bayern signing because we do have the experience in the midfield. Do we necessarily need a player that, has more experience? I mean, then you could just, I don't know. We don't know what to think with Bayern sometimes. We just know they need to do business. They need a CDM. We need a right back. We need another winger. We need an attacking midfielder as a backup. I'd like all our backups to be ideally, maybe they're looking at a Coutinho type of situation where it's a player that's, they're in their prime technically, and they're in those good old years, the golden years, because Inter Milan are weird. They're letting Brozović go, but I don't get it. They also extremely wanted Tolisso. They wanted to swap, and Bayern didn't want to do it. Yeah, but you know what? One thing I would say is we don't have a CDM like him. We don't. Kimmich is more of a ball player. You don't have someone that just likes defending and relishes a challenge. You don't really have that in that squad. Goretzka can tackle. He can definitely defend, but he's more of a box-to-box midfielder. Brozović, on the other hand, he could maybe even give license for us to play a 4-3-3 system, because Inter play, a 3-5-2? So they play with two strikers, three in the midfield, and Brozović usually is the one sitting, Barella and some other guy next to them. So maybe that could be the same situation, maybe the same tactic that Bayern end up using. I wouldn't mind a sitting CDM. But then you're thinking, but we have Javi Martinez, but Javi doesn't have his legs anymore, and Brozović would have his legs. You know what? Because he wouldn't be owed. He's very, very much in his prime. I wouldn't mind him. A lot of you, been, letting me know your concerns. Look, I'm a Bayern Munich board member. As the board member at Bayern Munich, I approve the signing. I wouldn't mind it. I think it'd be a very good signing in terms of maybe not the fact that he directly, like for like, replaces Thiago. I think that would be like a Fabian Ruiz or someone like that. But maybe because he is still going to add something different, a different style of play, a different type of CDM. So if you're playing a game where you have high-class attackers, you need someone like him who just wants to defend, read the game really well, makes crunching tackles. Not like Arturo Vidal, but you know what I mean. He can definitely do that. He can do that job. So I wouldn't mind Brozović, especially his personality type. We don't have a midfield like someone that wants to fight just to defend and to pass, get forward. He's good. He's good in every single department, man. And I wish I watched Inter Milan more, or Serie A in general. I just find Serie A generally boring. The style of play is too slow for me. I like Bundesliga and Premier League because it's intense, it's tight. You know what I mean. Bundesliga is more high pressing. Premier League is tighter in the middle. And that's just something I like. I don't really enjoy Serie A. I don't. I'm sorry. Or La Liga. It's slow. The build up. They spend 10 years to get into the opposition's third. I'm not a fan of that. Now it looks like I'm hating on these leagues. Hey, I have my opinions. I can state them out. This isn't a ESPN where I have to respect anyone. If you're crap, you're crap. I'm saying it, okay? You're not watching Filtered George. You're watching Unfiltered George. You're watching all my opinions just unraveled. Not that I want you to believe them, but you're watching what I think. And that's just the most important thing about this sport. It's an opinion game. And some people might say, Brozović is crap. Why would we get him, George? And some people might say, well, we should get Brozović. There's people that actually don't like Thiago. It's weird to me. I'd never understand it. But there's people like that. And it's really weird. It's really, really weird. Actually, I'm just looking at these stats and I wanted to pull them up. The games where he has played at CDM, Dortmund, they won 2-0. 3-1. Actually, I'm not even going to read those stats. They're irrelevant. Why would I care about Dortmund stats? Why would I care? But in the season, he usually plays as a defensive midfielder, deep lying, really a realistic DM. This season, about 40 something or so appearances, 1 appearance at attacking midfielder, not really attacking, more maybe a pressing 10, 12 at central midfield, and 33 at CDM. And getting 7 goals and 3 assists at the CDM position. This guy's the real deal when it comes to CDMs. I think a lot of people don't know about Brozović because you're just, I don't know, you're not thinking. You're not thinking. But I do know about him. It's not like I just don't watch Serie A. I know about Serie A. I really don't watch that much. But, I watched a few Inter games, and that's just my analysis on them. They're a very, very defensive team, so it's kind of very surprising that they have so many contributions and all these things. I mean, if you watched him in the Europa League final, you wouldn't really think he was that great, right? He just didn't have his best ever game. He got 1 assist, though, against Sevilla, so that's huge. He also got an assist versus Shakhtar Donetsk. I'm looking at it now. I don't remember the assist. Was that the second goal that they scored, Inter, from their set piece? He can take set pieces, no? Well, Inter scored from a set piece with Godin, so I guess he took it if he has the assist then. Did he give the pass to Lukaku to get... No. That might have been Gilagdrini or something like, or Barella maybe. I don't know. Well, he played very, very decent. Not the best. Oh, he played okay against Sevilla. Yeah, maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But yeah, I'm hoping that as we pretty much have just not confirmation, just an idea about him, that all of you can stop complaining about us not signing Houssem Ouahaha. So, yeah. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching this. I think it's definitely important that we keep strengthening. We can't be complacent. You can't afford to be complacent at Bayern Munich. This is one of the biggest clubs in the world. It is the biggest club in the world as of now. And we can't afford to be complacent. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia San Mia, and peace.